Stufak, hello? How we doing? We have a new skilling, gathering quality of life, skilling quality of life, Trouver changes, and more. I had a little bit of this spoiled, that's why I'm making this video, because it's a little juicy. It's a little juicy. There's some good stuff in here, so I want to yap about it. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to read through exactly what they are changing and see what is in store. So I hope we're all doing well. Hope we're all having a lovely day. If you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button as we are getting closer and closer to 1,000 subs on the YouTube channel. We've only been going hard since November, so if you do, I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Without much further, we're going to start reading through this and see what they have in store. We're back with another spoonful of quality of life changes, this time with a focus on gathering skills and activities. Though there's a good spread of things here, even if you're not specifically interested in gathering skills, including changes to the Trouver system, sailing cannonball production, and last man standing rewards. There's no perfect way to split these up, so we'll group them loosely on a skill-by-skill basis until we get to the exceptions, and try and keep things brief, so you can get back on your grinds until the polls roll around. Mining. In the spirit of blast mining, we'll kick things off with a bang, and arguably one of the most popular mining adjacent suggestions we see. The gem bag expansion. You saw a ton of people outcrying for this when it came to salvaging, because the last tier of salvaging was dropping tons of red topaz and the other gems, and you couldn't put those in there. They said, no, fuck you. So it looks like they are going to be adding all of these gems. Let's see exactly what they're doing. So they are talking about the pristine spider silk, which they added last month to Sarachnis. This increases the capacity from the herb bag from 30 to 100. Today we'd like to propose a similar quality of life / reward space approach to improve the gem bag, add a modern reason to visit an old boss, and tie in some sailing resources to the wider game. Awesome. How are we going to do it? To do this, we are proposing a series of new gem storage options for semi-precious gems that you can level up as you progress towards the brand new gem sack. Okay, no longer a gem bag, the gem sack, a big hefty sack. So the gem pouch requires 12 crafting, linen, thread, and silk, so all these sailing materials, and it stores 5x of the opal, jade, and red topaz. Then we have the satchel at 39 crafting, which requires hemp. This can store 10 of each. And then the gem tote, which is 81 crafting, requiring cotton, thread, and silk. This holds 20 of each the opal, jade, and red topaz. And then the gem sack, requiring 81 crafting, requires gem tote, the existing gem bag, and the immaculate mole skin. So they'll be adding a little drop to the giant mole, a unique there, for you to put these two bags together. And then once you put them all together, they'll be able to hold 60. Okay, so the final tier, the one that we're all going to care about, the actual one we'll be using, the combined version, holds 60 of all gems up to Dragonstone. So no, you can't put 60 onyxes or zenites in here, but you can put 60 opals, jades, and red topaz. Beautiful. This will be nice for gem mining. This will be nice for salvaging. This will be beautiful for that. And just handy in general. Adding an addition that just makes sense. There's no reason the gem bag couldn't hold these in the first place, but since it hasn't held them all this time, they gotta make us work for it. They always do, which, fair enough. They're adding it to a reward on the giant mole, or at least they want to, and that will give us the gem sack. Beautiful. Lovely. We don't need really much more, it looks like, other than that. No, just a drop from mole, and then these sailing resources, which you should have in your bank. And yeah, I think we can move on from that. Oh, they do actually say the rate as well. We are proposing a 1 in 50 drop for the Immaculate Moleskin. So similar to the Silkline thing, you should be able to get this in like just a short session, just a little afternoon at the boss, get your upgrade, and move on. With the ability to hand in dupes to Wyson for 5 bird nest rolls. Cool. Good enough. Other mining tweaks. There is a few that I hope are in here. And it's the first one. It's the literal first one. Allow infernal tools such as infernal pickaxe, harpoon, and infernal axe. I shouldn't overreact. I haven't read it. This better be a toggle. To be recharged using a smoldering stone when they have charges remaining. Oh, this is not a toggle. This means that when you see yourself running out of charges on the last couple, you can recharge it to fill without specifically having to wait for your tool to run out of charges. Interesting. I didn't actually know this was a thing. I went to fill up my smoldering or my infernal pickaxe the other day at Temperos, and it just ran out mid game. So I just did it when it was 0, but I was gonna do it when it was just a tiny bit left, so it didn't run out mid game. I'm glad that it did fully run out, because that would have pissed me off. Allow infernal tools. Please be a toggle. Burn effect on the pickaxe has to be. Infernal harpoon and axe to be toggled off freely. Thank you. My bank spaces rejoice. It is so goddamn annoying. If you don't know, if you're doing something where you actually want to get more of the thing you're mining, you want to have a regular pickaxe, obviously. Or if you're doing something like a clue scroll, it does not complete the step if the supply gets processed and doesn't enter your inventory. So always keep a regular dragon pick in the bank for mining a runite rock and things like that. It's really annoying. But now we can just toggle it. God bless. Allow the expert mining gloves effect to apply to runite golems. Okay. And standard runite rocks. Cool. I mean, yeah, there's like actually no real good way to get runite ore if you want to skill for it. Like, I guess Motherlode Mine or Blast Mine are your best options, but holy shit, that sucks. Like, yeah, cool. Give us some ability to actually mine rune. And then they're also going to add to the diary extra ore. So a chance to receive up to 4 runite ore per successful mining action. This is specifically for the runite golems, obviously. On the wilderness diary, these are in the Wildy resource area. So 2, 3, and 4 from the medium to the elite diary. Cool. I don't know how useful this is going to be. Maybe there's like actually going to be some semblance of like a money-making method for Iron Men once they have like high smithing and mining. Time will tell, but this is interesting. This might open up some kind of higher level mining moneymaker with the Wildy Elite Diary. Probably not. Like, realistically, probably not, but like, yeah, cool. Let's try. Let's try to do something. And then allowing players to claim noted day alt essence from their respective shards. This is only a change for UIM, so if you don't know how it works, currently you trade your day alt shards for day alt essence, but the NPC sends it directly to your bank. I don't know why, but they send it just straight to your bank. They don't give it to you noted in the inventory. Oh, I guess because it can't be noted. It's like an untradable thing, maybe. But I don't know. Maybe it can be noted. Either way, they send it straight to your bank. So this makes it so that UIMs can actually interact with Dayalt. So cool. I think that is nice. They should be able to play most parts of the game that don't just have a random restriction that is bank related. That is good. And then allowing the Celestial Signet's mining enhancer effect to apply to Dayalt shards. But if you are using your Celestial Ring here at Dayalt, my question to you is 1, why? And 2, how did you get so many Stardust Fragments? How? Alrighty. That is it for mining. Honestly, just the toggle for Infernal Tools there is amazing. That makes me so happy. And then the Runite Rock stuff should be interesting, so we'll see where that actually goes in terms of how it pans out if it passes poll. Hunter. We know you've all been there. Head to your salamander rumor, forget to bring enough rope, bank, come back later, start hunting salamanders, lose focus, and look back at your screen. 2 ropes, 2 nets have been lost to the void. Log out. They forgot the 1-star log out, but I guess they don't want to encourage that. But yeah, we've all been there. Not only do net traps introduce strangely high amount of inventory pressure, true, they also are the least forgiving when it comes to losing focus after a failed attempt at trapping a salamander. We're proposing the ability for players with level 29 Hunter to combine rope and a small fishing net to make stackable net traps, which can be traded with other players and stored in the Huntsman's kit. You'll also be able to pick these up at the Hunter shop for a reasonable price. You won't be able to dismantle these back into ropes and small fishing nets. That's kind of weird. Oh, but I'm assuming you'll get the trap back when you loot it. It has to. When a net trap fails, it will enter a failed trap state, similar to a box, where you'll have to reset the trap rather than needing to pick up the components from the floor and set the trap back up from scratch. So, to make this clear, I think this will be changing the way that salamander hunting works. Like, it seems like these will be able to just put these up on any tile and set them up in kind of like a grid like you would for chinchompas. It doesn't specifically say here if these will only be able to be put up on the sticks where you can normally trap salamanders. And something tells me with the way they code things and the way they have traps, you probably can't set something up on those tiles. So I bet you inadvertently this will make salamander hunting significantly better. This is just a hunch. If that is what they're doing with these, I can imagine black salamanders becoming insane XP per hour if you don't need to do just like the lap of your normal amount of traps. If you can just kind of set up in a small area and run it, especially if these can be tick manipulated as well, like box traps, salamander hunting might kind of get juiced out XP wise. It's still absolutely useless to do, but it might kind of get gross. And I guess there's the Tekus as well, so like black salamanders aren't even the best anymore, so it'll be probably pretty nuts. We'll have to see how these actually get implemented when they do add them, but this could be insane for salamander hunting. Additionally, to alleviate some annoyance when engaging with deadfall or pitfall, we'd allow players to construct these traps using logs that are stored in a log basket. Oh, that's sick. So you don't need to keep refreshing like your handful of logs every time you're doing one of those rumors. That's really cool. That'd be really nice. Awesome. And that was it for Hunter. So small quality of life that seems all geared around rumors and just smoothing out that process, but they're identifying a lot of little annoying things that are just horrendous, and I like that. They're pointing out a few proper things that I would hope that they would look at quality of life wise within each of these skills, and hopefully that continues as we go down the list. Farming. Ooh, where are we going with farming? There's farming somewhere between gathering and production as far as skill goes, but we're including it here all the same. There is no scene stealer here, just a collection of changes that we're sure will add up to more than the sum of their parts. Okay, so they're prepping me. I'm not going to be impressed. Right-click deposit all to tool leprechauns. Cool. Allow players to set a default seed on the seed box, then allow players with a default seed set to use the seed box on a farming patch to plant their selected seed. Yeah, awesome. This makes seed box actually pretty useful. Saves you a bunch of backspaces, and then additionally is not annoying when you go to do your herd runs. I actually might consider going to get a seed box with this change. Allow players to dig up healthy plants while they're growing for all plants, as is already the case with herb patches. Cool, so if you plant the wrong thing for a contract, you can just yeet it out of there and get that sorted. Awesome. Right-click clear option to cactus or potato cactus. Just in case you're in a rush and can't stomach the sight of another magic potion in the bank. Do you guys hate XP that much? Do you guys hate gaining XP? I fucking love when I get to make another 10,000 magic potions. Man, you guys are weird if y'all hate XP like that. When a player has an active farming contract, display the required seed at the top of the seed vault by default, so that the relevant seed's easier to grab in a pinch. Oh my god. They said it wasn't gonna be that good. Like, they said it wasn't... They said the changes weren't gonna blow you away, but oh my Lanta, that's beautiful. That's just beautiful. I have nothing else to say other than that's beautiful. Give me a few more favorite seed slots, and now we're cooking with gas. And reintroduce sulfurous fertilizer, made by combining saltpeter and compost to be used on vine patches. Within the Hasidius Vinery, to increase grape yield by 20%. We're not dead set on the specific number here, so if you have good reason to bring it higher, then let us know. Yeah, make it like 200%, unironically. No one engages with this content. Make it an egregious number so that, like, maybe some people will grow their wines of Zami. I don't know. You make it a ridiculous number so that this is actually a thing people engage with, potentially. That's just me. I don't know. Sounds good. On the top of these, we've got one change that we'd like to make, but we aren't able to make on Java clients, which means RuneLite for the majority of you. On our unofficial client, including mobile, we'd like to add a visual indicator to patches that show whether the patch has been composted and which tier of compost has been used. There are already RuneLite plugins that do this, so being able to bring other players on clients, or bring players on other clients up to speed here would be lovely. Yeah, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, they can't do it for us. We don't get this one. I would like this one, but we don't get this one, and that's okay, because RuneLite is good. Other skilling related changes. But wait, there's more. Some changes that we'd like to make either don't fit neatly under any category or aren't numerous enough to have their own category, so we've gathered them up into a convenient list. Sailing cannonball production improvements. Making cannonballs at the ancient furnace has been a consistent pain point within the community, especially as the rate at which you can make them is slowed down by the fact there isn't a nearby bank. To improve this, we'd like to propose a nearby NPC that can convert noted metal bars into item form. That sounds fire. Due to its powerful convenience, the NPC will charge a higher fee than usual, 100 coins per bar. Additionally, this service will only work for metal bars, no food or other items, to avoid unintentional consequences with the Frost Dragon caves. Fair enough. With this proposal, you'll be smithing cannonballs faster, then you can fire them into an unsuspecting bird who is minding their own business and not bothering anybody. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's the way God intended it. To round off the skilling focus segment, here's a healthy helping of assorted quality of life offerings. Before we get into the other changes, I love all of this. Grimstone is currently pretty much just fucking useless. I don't see any reason why you would make cannonballs at Grimstone rather than just at the Prif Furnace. It's somewhat faster, but oh my god, is it 10 times more annoying. So yeah, give us a reason to use this furnace. If we have to pay a little bit of premium, sure, it will increase our cannonballs per hour by a drastic amount. So yeah, give this to us. Sounds freaking good. Other changes. Alrighty. Allow Wesley and other NPCs who enjoy crushing items to crush coconuts into milk. Cool. I don't know why we would do that, but cool. Allow players to store a knife and a hammer in the tackle box for the processing of sacred and infernal eels. Alrighty. Allow bait to be used directly from the tackle box while fishing, so long as the tackle box is in the inventory. Okay, so this is a useful item now. This is one that got spoiled from me earlier. This is why I wanted to read this. The tackle box is a useful item now. This now is a bank space saver, and whenever you want to do any fishing that is, you know, X fishing tool plus X bait, it's all in your tackle box now. Every single bit of it. You put all your bait in there, all of your fishing utensils, and then you just go to that fishing spot. You grab your tackle box, you go to the fishing spot. I think you can do... I would have to check about Karamwanji. That might be the only one you can't. But you put your worms in there. You put your feathers in there. You put your bait in there. If you're going barb fishing, boom, tackle box, sorted. If you're going angler fishing, boom, tackle box, sorted. You just grab that thing, and it's just your one-stop shop for fishing. I love this. I'm so excited to do my thousands of Temperos pulls so that I can get one of these. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Adjust the location of the portal at the Law Altar so its distance from the altar better matches the other rune crafting altars, likely in the 6 to 10 tile range. Oh, was the Law Altar too good? This is a nerf, right? This is a nerf to the Law Altar, right? The Law Altar had to be too good. Because if they're talking about one altar in particular, it would be the Cosmic Altar, if this is like a buff. So they have to be nerfing it. I think this is... I think this is something to do with the sailing method, like with the telly to boat method. Maybe it was giving too high of an XP rate that they were comfortable with. That's my guess. But if it is a nerf, I don't know. I'd have to look more into this and what it looks like before and after. But yeah, it's probably just to adjust the unintended huge buff to rune crafting that came in with the ability to teleport to that dock there. Interesting. Updated runecrafting level up messages to clearly communicate how the colossal pouch improves at relevant level thresholds. Sweet. I think that item is confusing for pretty much everyone since they changed it. And adjusted the bonus resource rounding on Miscellaneous Kingdom. Bonus resources are currently allocated on a fixed threshold, e.g. 1 bird's nest for 100 logs collected, where any excess is rounded down. We'd like to change this to have any partial progress provide a percentage chance. Okay, so it's similar to like Temperos or Wintertot or Guardians of the Rift points. If you're over 50% to the next rounding point, then you'll have over a 50% chance of getting that next rounding point. And vice versa. You won't always get it, but sometimes you will get that extra one without having to waste it. Update row, obtained by cutting fish from barbarian fishing, to default to use on left click rather than eat. Naturally, you're able to swap this back if you enjoy cut eat or eat cut barbarian fishing. Cool. And added a don't warn me again dialogue option for the 5 Numulite Driftnet banking fee. Cool. Awesome. I was thinking about doing Driftnet fishing, but then I realized that black chins are awesome, so we probably won't be doing any of that. But sick. Slight improvement to Driftnet fishing. And allow fossils to be deposited into a fossil storage box without requiring a bank pin. Hands up if you knew that there were fossil storage boxes in the game. Oh, maybe that's the one at the museum. Do they exist outside of the museum? Maybe they do. If they do, today I learned. Alrighty. Awesome. These are all really minor, but overall, good changes. None of these changes seem out of place or silly or like who's asking for them. It's just like small tiny things that they're cleaning up around the place, and hey, we accept all of the cleanup. Trouver system rework. This got slightly spoiled for me, but I'm just gonna read it because it's complicated. The changes in this section are unpolled since we believe them to be a matter of game integrity and improving a system that can cause significant frustration for players. But we'd like to check in with you first and see how you feel about the proposal before making any changes. For those of you who are reading this title and have no idea what Trouver even means, here's a quick bit of context. Untradable items are often lost on a PvP death in the wilderness, but obviously cannot be looted. Meaning an untimely death while wearing your Infernal Cape or Full Graceful can often mean the untradable items are outright deleted if you're caught unaware during a clue scroll or in a fight. Fortunately, there's a system to help you protect your untradables, where you can take a Trouver Parchment and 500,000 GP to Purdue to lock the item. Dying with a locked item that isn't protected on death means you'll keep the item. Whoever killed you will receive the 500k, and most crucially, you'll need to lock the item again, so it reverts it back to its original state. The last bit is in bold because it's exceptionally easy to forget to relock your items after a death and see them thrown into the abyss on your next go in the wilderness. We're proposing a significant change to this system that should help all players reduce the chance of item losing losing crucial untradables in the wilderness. The general rule of thumb here is that untradables with no combat benefits should never be lost on death. Untradables with some combat bonuses will break and need repairing without a Trouver Parchment, and untradables with a strong combat bonus will need to be troved once and then never again. Okay, so let's look at this list. All untradable items that don't currently break, for example the Graceful set, will no longer be lost. So this is basically anything that isn't used in PvP or PvE, like anything with no stats on it. If it's untradable, it shouldn't be lost anymore. That's insane. That's huge quality of life. There's like no reason for this to be the case before, but it just always was the case, and it caused so many people so many issues. So thank goodness we can bring our Graceful into the Wildy now. Hell yeah. Some untradable items that currently break will continue to break whether below or above level 20 wilderness, but will no longer be lost. You'll instead receive their broken version and can repair them at Purdue for a small fee. The items in this category are a bunch of items. So some notable ones: Fire Cape, Ava's Assembler, the Imbued Mage Arena 2 capes, a Vernic Defender, all the defenders all the way up to a Vernic, and is there anything else major in here? Is Fighter Torso in here? No. Okay, so it looks like a lot of the major PvP items are going to be in the Trouver category. So let's go down to the Trouver category. So these are the items that you're going to need to acquire a Trouver Parchment to actually be able to repair these if you've died for them in the wilderness. So these will include, all of Void, so Void and Elite Void, Infernal Cape, Infernal Max Cape, Blood Ancient Scepter, so all of the Ancient Scepter variants, Fighter Torso, Rune Pouch, Divine Rune Pouch, Quiver, and that's it. So all of basically the BIS, PvE untradables, as well as PvP stuff that is very commonly used. So those are the only items you might need a Trouver for. So on Iron Man, generally, the only thing I can see really using Trovers on, or having to use a Trouver on, is like being able to unlock your Infernal Cape for the Wildy. Really nice. Other than that, like, they don't have too much of a use anymore. That is kind of sick, and you only need to get one, and then you can use your Infernal Cape infinitely. You can die with it as many times as you want, and then every time you just need to pay to repair it. Absolutely fantastic. I love this change. The difference between the times that I had a Parched Infernal Cape, maxing 81s on Spindle with my mace, versus the times where I had no more Parches and I didn't want to bring my Infernal Cape and I was hitting far smaller numbers. Oh, it's just sad. So being able to just always bring out your gear and just pay to repair it if it breaks, God bless. We believe these changes should reduce frustration for PvPers who forget to relock their Infernal Capes, as much as we love a skill specs versus Zuckstream, who doesn't, while also giving non-PvPers more confidence that they won't lose something they spent hours obtaining and can't readily rebuy. Fantastic. And then we have Last Man Standing reward changes. The changes in this section are unpolled with one exception because we believe them to be a matter of game integrity. What are they looking to get rid of Last Man Standing? So the main argument here is just around botting. So these are going to be all the things that you won't be able to get, and it's pretty much anything with a money attachment. So the Ornate Maul Handle, Saradomin's Tear, Swiftblade, the Granite Maul attachment, all the Orn kits, the Whip mixes. Oh my god. The Adamant arrows, the Rune arrows. Wait. Just the Adamant arrows, not Rune arrows? Interesting. Yeah, this is a little insane. Personally, I feel like Last Man Standing is like actually a piece of content that is like you can engage with it. Like I don't know how. I have no idea how on earth to engage with Bounty Hunter without putting in a lot of work of learning and stress and wasting money and all that. So I don't want to say too much on this because I've never done Bounty Hunter, but for me as an Iron Man player, why are we taking away all these potential clogs, man? Let me get my Swiftblade at some point. Let me get my damn. I don't know. It's just weird. There's probably something you can do in terms of the bots that is better than just completely gutting the entire minigames reward section. I don't know. To me, that seems a little bit extreme and silly, but hey, not my place necessarily, so I won't say too much on this one. But this seems rather extreme. I feel like there is something they can do other than just nuking the reward shop. But I'm not going to talk too much about it. We're going to end on a high note. Overall, this is a huge chunk of quality of life. I think my favorite changes, the Infernal Tools, massive. Tackle Box, so sick. The Gem Bag, gonna be awesome. There's some big stuff in here. And then the Trouver changes, goodness. I'm just excited. I am very much looking forward to seeing some of these in the game, to see what's pulled, what's unpulled, what we actually get. If you stuck out this entire time, I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. I've been Tufak. It's been wonderful. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Drink some water, touch some grass, and kiss a homie. You can forget the first two, though. Have a great night. Peace.